Peace, peace. How you doing, my great vibers? This is your guy, Barry, aka Barry Israel. Peace, 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 peace. First, last. What's up, my great vibers? I hope everybody's doing great. Today, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do something different with my show. Something that I used to do on my Facebook page when I carried one, but I don't mess with Facebook no more. I had a brand called FRONTLINE Strategems, in which I would bring political forecasts, things like that, and did quite well. But what I'm gonna bring today with this title, but I want to speak to you guys, and I'm titling this "Frontline Analysis of the Current Political Reality Show in DC." And I just want to bring my great vibers some understanding on what's going on, some understanding actually, so that you can put some perspective, put some respect on your perception of what may be going on, what is going on, not what may be. It's happening in current time right now in real time. So I want to give you an understanding of that and moving forward so you can get a better understanding and give you information that you can vet and look for yourself so that you too can sit there and start questioning and understanding and getting another perspective other than the one that always been fed to us by the television, whatever you want to call it, but all of it's part of the Antichrist system, the beast system anyway. So with that, I just wanted to say peace, my great vibers. Keep your head up, man. We're gonna be okay. Don't let these cats steal your energy because they're energy vampires. This is what this is a lot about. So I'm gonna bring some positive word, some good intel, and some definitely food for thought, and to let you kind of understand the political shenanigans that are being played out. I won't get too deep, but I'm gonna hit you with some things. You're gonna be like, but I'm not gonna get too deep. But so I'm gonna give you a frontline analysis, like I used to bring to my people on Facebook. And it was always on point. I was good at that stuff. Some people find a talent, that was mine, and that's what I did without a degree. I did those things, from my past. I think I mentioned the people that I worked in DC. I was a former union president and a district director of labor relations. I was in charge of DC, Maryland, Virginia, West Virginia without a college degree. That's what I believe. You can be in the grind without one. That's nothing but a money trap, really. But I did go back in 2013 and finish my degree for my personal development. Nothing I felt I needed to use it for, just to go back to be like, I did it. That was part of my journey, really, as my vibration was rising, was going back in the right direction, actually. So that's what that was about, y'all. It's not necessarily about that, because it's all about who you know. It's about the connections you have. It's about the right place, the right time, meeting the right people, and showing them that you have some intelligence, that you will put in work to do the research, the homework. That's what really landing good jobs are about, man. If you don't create them yourself, that's all it is. A degree is not necessarily gonna get you in the door. It'll help in some cases. I don't discourage it, but I also don't feel like that's the all be all for everything, and that puts you ahead of everybody else, because that's not true. I did quite well without one for years, on top of years. So that's all I can say on that. But I'm gonna bring you a good frontline political analysis on what's going on. It's not really a forecast because things are taking place. So I'm just giving you analysis of what has happened. First, I wanted to say that with this recent so-called inauguration, that you are seeing executive orders being signed, cabinet positions being made, but I want you to understand that that's a continued part of this, what I call the Antichrist matrix illusionary system that you're really seeing. And, you just got to let it play out. I already told you and mentioned in some of my past videos that the government is definitely being run by military behind the scenes. So everything is not what you seem. And I'm going to give you information so that you can vet this and get an understanding and realize, like, I got to be careful of what I'm watching and what's going on, and start thinking and vetting for yourself certain things, because you can vet certain things for yourself. So with the cabinet choices you're seeing with selections and designing of executive orders, like I said, I already told you what system that is a part of. The corporation called the USA, United States of America, has been dissolved. I mentioned that in one of my past videos called 911 Alert. Like William Shakespeare said, the world is one great big stage. He didn't say that for no reason. They have always controlled the illusion of their systems, bottom line, through the media. And now with technology combined with media, And I want you to view, after this, I want you guys to go to Google. Google Biden images 2015, Google Biden images 2020. And from that point on, put some respect on your perception of what's happening. And I believe that will answer some questions for you to start vetting things more, understanding what you are really seeing after you see that, and make your conclusion on what you're seeing. But if you don't see anything after that, then I can't help you. But rather than take my word and tell you this is going on, I'm giving you direct intel. Because you got to understand, in these systems, what these people do know in this beast antichrist system is that universal law requires they have to put the truth out there. Whether you find it, whether you see it, whether you understand it, whether you take off the rose-colored glasses, that's on you. But it clears them of the karmic, of the negative karmic energy that can come back on them tenfold. They're going to catch it anyway because they went too far. But really, the information is there. You have to see it, but it's still put out there as they think is a cover to keep them from karma. So, but it's there. But go look at those images I told you, and you decide from there what you think is really going on, and understand what William Shakespeare was saying. So with that, we have to look very closely. When you do look at that image of the mouth, the nose, the ears, all the facial features, and make your comparison, and then go from there. And when I say these people, and I say that with reservation, and during this so-called inauguration into a now defunct corporation, they did not even put their hands on a Bible. You got to understand that, and that's facts. Just go back and look. One person, the Harris woman, had something on top of, and didn't even put her hand on top of him. It was a book that definitely didn't look like one. You got to understand, that's of the world. That's the Antichrist system. That's how they get down. But once again, it was out there in front of your face. So this inauguration we seen really, a so-called inauguration, looked like a really identity group inauguration. I'm not going to say the names, the title, not to give anything power and energy, but that's what it looked like instead of a presidential one. It was, people were referencing to the Hunger Games type scenario, and it's part of the illusion, more part of the game that you have to understand. So, what you're seeing is the Antichrist spirit that had to show itself openly now, and they're not hiding anymore. They can't, because the last president, basically, when he technically exposed them. He exposed them to have to come out hiding, and the Most High mentions that in 1 John 4:3-6, that the Antichrist spirit is in the world. It's in the world already when we get here, people. It's nothing how we've been taught by the false prophets of this Babylon beast Antichrist illusionary church system, tell you that it's already here. It's nothing you have to look for. It ain't gonna come get you. It is here when you come. And I just gave you the scripture to find that where the Most High is telling you. It is here already, what he mentioned. So what I want you to understand is right now you have a political reality show playing out in real-time revelation. This is how the Most High is bringing it out. You got to understand he's bringing it out on that level for you to be able to understand it the way it is, what's going on, the whole 9 yards, the whole shebang. My great vibers, I was saying that it's all being put out right there in front of you, but the false prophets from the past, of this Babylon church system, they've always taught us that, the Antichrist is this and that, he's coming. No, we're born into it, and the Most High tells you that, but we're never taught those scriptures and that stuff. But now you have what you are seeing as a political reality show in real time. And this is how the Most High is bringing it, like I was saying. He tried to bring it to you with 2020 vision to take off the rose-colored glasses, as I mentioned. When you look at Revelation 13:3-6, it talks about the Antichrist rising from the dead. And what you had there, when you sit back and you can analyze that and match it with biblical scripture into current real-time stuff that is played out. You had a Biden, the guy that was in the basement, round campaign was basically dead. A female Harris that had 1 to 2%, maybe 2 to 3% of national support, was out the picture forever, hadn't even really heard or seen her until they decided to nominate her. And all of a sudden they rose again. If you go to that Revelation 13 through 6, it'll tell you about the Antichrist being dead and then rising. And then you move forward to Revelation 17:11. It talks about from there the two kings. The two kings. And that will help give you better insight, because the two kings basically is what you have now. You had people that felt like the last president should have won. You had people that wanted this, this group to get in by any means necessary, no matter what. So technically, if you want to look at that and try to add some perspective to it, you can look at it from that sense, because we are in Revelation. But it's not the end times like people think. It's the end times of the Antichrist rule. And you have to understand that eighth king had to come in to so-called power into being again and rise, so that what? If you go to that Revelation 17:11, it tells you the Most High is going to destroy that, which in effect what is destroying the Antichrist spirit. And this is why you see the shenanigans. This is why a lot of things are going on from my perspective and how I'm looking at it, trying to understand it to be at peace. But at the end of the day, one thing we know is that the Antichrist is spirit is on the way out. The Father's here and is confused, don't know how to act, don't know what to do. And my great vibbers, also what you see on the political situation is the parting of the Red Sea. And the Red Sea, when you go to biblical talk and knowledge, the Red Sea, isn't a sea. It's the sea is a representation of the people. The beast coming out of the sea is a representation of countries, governments coming up, trying to be bigger than the people. Those are the meanings of it in the Bible that they never really break down and explain. So the parting of the Red Sea, what you see now is that Red Sea is also an example of the GOP party, which is what red. And if you had looked in a map during the elections, they showed where a lot of people were really on that side. It covered a lot of the states. So the GOP, it represents that Red Sea. And the splitting of it now is that you got to understand Trump was a populist president. He didn't come in under Democratic approval or definitely GOP. That system, either side is run by one system. That's an Antichrist matrix illusionary system, beast system. That's who runs it and the people behind that. So neither party wanted him. The party he ended up winning nomination for didn't expect him to win either, because the elections are always rigged anyway. So a funny thing happened on the way to the polls. The Most High, who was also the master of technology, reversed what they tried to do to rig and steal the elections like they normally do for who they wanted to under their corporation. They select who they want, not the people. And I had past videos talking kind of about that. So what he basically brung was a glitch to their Antichrist matrix illusionary system. He was the glitch in it. So now you're seeing right now the impeachment saga drama that's coming up. And a lot of that stuff is basically about just making sure he don't get in office. Because with that, you got to understand the GOP never really liked the guy. It was all a front, and they went along with it after he won for as long as they could. And they played the game until elections came around again. But once again, it was part of the Most High's plan for it to go the way it went, because Revelation has to play out. It has to play out. So we're okay. We're in good hands, and be at peace if you understand where we're at. And that's why I want to bring to you that encouragement. And this impeachment, when you impeach a president, it's about two things: getting rid of a sitting president, and also to make sure that that president can no longer hold another public office. But this is what you have to keep in mind, people. That old corporation, it's now defunct. It doesn't really even exist. A new system is on the way. So therefore, anything they try with impeachment, that's why he's not even worried about it. He started his own party called the Patriot Party. And that is the splitting of the Red Sea. The GOP, why they're going to be on deck for this, or it may appear to, is because of the fact that they think that party will take their constituents. So, but the thing is, and the Democrats are looking from the point of view of, let's do it, because now it'll split them and that'll continue to give us control over the people. It's not going to happen that way. What you're going to end up seeing is a lot of people defect from the GOP party. He just ain't going to split it. You're going to see the majority of constituents go with him to the Patriot Party. And that's what I see happening, coming into a new system. So they're setting the trap of trying to do an impeachment because he's already out of office. So it's not about that. So guess what? It's about to make sure he can't hold public office. But legally, in a new system, that won't stand because since 1871, if you went back and looked at my past video about that, I mentioned the fact that the corporation has been defunct in my 911 alert video. It is defunct now. So therefore, anything they do, anything in this Congress that has been cracked, anything they do will not have any legal standing in a new system. He knows that, so he's not worried. He's not concerned, and there's no reason to be worried or concerned because it won't have any effect. So this whole impeachment, once again, is another part of the political reality show, my people. Another part of the political reality. So it will not affect him with a new system coming up. So those are the reasons why both parties have reasons to go after him. One don't want to see him in office. One want to see him start his party. Well, both don't want to see him in office again ever. One want to see him start a party so they think it can split the GOP. But no, he's going to take them all with him. So, but the thing is, after the smoke clears and the Most High get done, there ain't gonna be too much of anything left, but it's not gonna be in the sense of what they always tried to preach, destroyed and people being destroyed and all this and that. No, it's gonna be the anti-Christ spirit and those that follow that get destroyed, that be destroyed, that no longer really exist in one form or fashion. So any congressional acts they do, any mess they try to pull on a really defunct Congress that was acting illegally since 1871 that incorporated us as stock. We were only stock to them. And they used our money to do whatever they want. That's what the whole con job has been and was. And so what you're seeing is you'll see things that may to appear look like it's happening. You got to remember the television. You got to remember like when you seen 911, and I don't like using this much, but I got to bring this as an example in a sense where the buildings went down, people died. They say planes hit it, but never found plane parts, plane seats, plane wheels, luggage, none of that stuff. 2 planes, all in New York City, but you found IDs from the terrorists that so-called did it. So those are the things you understand about the illusionary system. That was another Hollywood graphic, digital, made for TV movie, distributed all across America. And of course, people that was there that know the buildings went down or in the vicinity, whether they think they seen the plane or not, they're going to say they did because it was already broadcast. They were there. So it's the mind games. It's the mind games that these people play for whatever reasons. But at the end of the day, it's all about control, all the way down to the 19 vax. It's about control. Tomorrow they can say, oh, we don't need to wear coverings. Everybody like, okay. And you're not wearing coverings and you're happy and you ain't questioning why I think it. They just telling you don't have to. Then next week they come back and say, oh no, we got to put them back on. And people are going to do that. It's a control thing, folks. Basically the control and the time is up. That system, the glitch came in and it destroyed their system. So like I was telling people before, they're fighting mad right now. And so this impeachment thing is another part of the Hollywood show and the dissolve company, a corporation, so I just wanted you to understand kind of what was going on with this impeachment thing. It's not what you think it is. There's nothing that's really can come out of it. They can try all they want because once this new system comes, because, GreatVIBBERS, don't get caught up, in what the Antichrist system is trying to do. They're continuing to try to do what they've always done, is that's pull your energy. They're energy vampires, and that's what sustains them. That's what sustains them. Protect your energies. Stay at peace. They know their time is up. The glitch came and it crushed them and they had to come out and expose themselves. And now this is what you're getting. This is what you're seeing if you choose to take off the rose-colored glasses and have 20/20 vision. And you also got to remember the Most High, been giving them grace and letting them know. Even in Exodus 7:16, he told them, let my people go so that they may serve me in the wilderness. And of course, the wilderness is a reference to the earth. So they can just come here and be them. Be spiritual, be happy, be at peace, be about love, live free of tyranny, live free of Nobody trying to dictate their life or of control, unrighteous control, So those are just the things we have to keep in mind. And also remember this, with all of this, at the end of the day, Isaiah 46:9-10 tells you, I am God. There is none like me. Only I can tell the future before it happens. Everything I plan will come to pass. For I do whatever I wish. So all of this is more disclosure. It's about chastisement for those that want to go in that direction. But also, he has to complete taking down this system. And he couldn't do it with the past president in office. Because you got to read Revelation to understand that he wasn't supposed to be in there while the rest of this, technically be in there while the rest of this took place. So that you got to kind of put some respect on your perception and what's happening. So, this continued impeachment saga, don't let it stir up your energy, steal your energy, because the con game is almost up. My great vibbers, the con game is almost up, really. And they know this. So just be at peace, stay in the high vibe, because they want to take that vibe down. They want to take it away from you with all of these shenanigans that's going on in this antichrist matrix illusionary system is what I call the bottom line. And the Most High tells us they know not peace. They know not peace. So until their neck is in a noose, they know not peace, y'all. And that's just who they have always been. He told you they come here to steal, kill, and destroy. And I gave you the scripture where he tells you that the Antichrist spirit has always been in this world. They were here already. You're just now seeing it, for really what it is. And don't get caught up and go back. Look at those Biden images I told you, 2015, 2020, so you can continue to understand what is really taking place. Put some respect on your perception so you can understand the evil game that this system is playing. That's all. And don't let it be discouraged. Be encouraged that finally is being exposed for what it is. It's being exposed for what it is. So be happy, be in it, because a total economic collapse has to come along with the stock market, the crypto, where a lot of them were hiding money because so many executive orders were put in place to go after people. And I'm going to give you some rundown about a part of that, why that was being done too, by the last president. And what did you notice? What he did was he gave us stimulus money before economic collapse. Normally, when these cats was running the system, they gave themselves economic stimulus after a collapse or during it for their systems, which was nothing but a organized money laundering scheme. That's all it was an organizing money laundering scheme, my great vibe. So, we just have to continue to remember that. But a lot of that stuff is crashing out. But we would have got more to help us with this crash coming. That's going to be coming. But the thing is, they played the game like they wanted to give more and force his hand because he knew what was going on. He just didn't want to hold things up. So it was like, okay, the 600. But, so once again, that's that system not wanting the people to have the good energy, to feel comfortable, to feel better. Let's give them another spanking, but try to make it look like, no, we really for this. So it's just the constant games you have to be mindful of, but be encouraged. Be encouraged. The Most High is here and he's working his plan, and it's a plan that they can't stop. They can't stop that. So, you're fine. If you're not down with that Antichrist spirit, with that agenda, you're gonna be okay. If not, I just, all I say, just go to the word and you see how your ending is. That's all I can tell you. But it's not going to be the destruction that they tried to tell us, that it's going to take people out. This is going to happen. That's going to happen. And it was always preached the fear put in it's going to take them out. The son came and was a sacrifice for the world through his father and voluntarily to save everyone in it, including them cats, them jive turkeys. But now, this time, the comeback is for just his people, not them. And this is what they understand. They're not included in it this time. So their charade is over because it's not about them no more. They're not included. They don't get a free pass no more. they don't get a free pass. So my great vibe is just stay, just stay in a good mind and good peace. And also I wanted to tell you is that the beast system just isn't in DC. This beast system is also locally. That's where it's the worst at too. They're doing it through programs that they call fusion center programs that were running through Department of Homeland Security. He had started cleaning some of that up, the last president. But this stuff is local. You had these rich people, whatever you want to call them, setting up security companies, assessment teams, getting paid, and you can Google this stuff. You can vet it. Called fusion centers. They were put in your state supposedly after 9/11 to watch terrorism. No, it was a Nazi-Stasi program. This is more intel for you. This was a Nazi-Stasi program that was brought in over from the wicked system that they already had in place from Germany, that always been in here in this country for years. And basically, they use that to spy on the citizens. It has nothing to do with that because they knew what was coming and they needed to create the Christ spirit. They needed to have the anti-God agenda in place. So they brought it in through these fusion centers, through these programs where they're paying your neighbors, they're paying people out here to run around with tracking apps, tracking people. That your name could have been given to you by the pastors who all of them that are part of this B system, 501(c)(3)s, they're in what they call a CRT program, clergy response team. Basically, they're government agents that get checks. And you can Google this stuff. That they sit there and they basically, if they don't like you for some reason, they'll turn your name in. And next thing you know, you're being watched, you're being monitored, and you got Pookie, Ray, Sinead, you got Bill, Bob. It don't matter the nationality, the color, the age. So many people are involved in this, and how I ran and understood it more is because working as a campaign strategist, when I worked with candidates, sometime when they were challenging that person locally who had the connections to this, all of a sudden they would get put under this program. But we didn't know what the program was, but we knew strange things was happening. And after some vetting and me, having passed military, understanding counter surveillance, counterintelligence, understanding that stuff, intelligence, surveillance, you also understand counter surveillance and counterintelligence. So doing research, some of us got together and got to the bottom of it and understood what was going on, the program in place, and how that's what they use really as their blackmail system for anybody, whether it's judges or whoever they want to target. They use these programs. So this is also part of the Antichrist system locally through these centers that anybody join up for. You might see all of a sudden somebody pop up with a new car. I ain't gonna get the brand names out, and they getting a little car allowance from the dealership. Normally, they don't got no money, really can't afford it because they're using it because their job is run around follow certain people. This is happening. It's a mass program, but under him it started dying down. They were losing money, so it slowed up. It's still remnants of it here throughout the U.S. locally, but they don't have as much money as they used to. You had everybody setting up little security teams and assessment teams and getting paid millions of dollars just to basically incorporate a company. If you had a connection to whoever that senator was, next thing you know, you got a contract to work for the Fusion Center. They put you assessment team together, which is really anybody from the community who want to sign up to get a Walmart gift card. You might get a chance to stay in a nice luxury place for a while you watching somebody. And these people run around thinking they working for the government. No, you're sitting here being the lowest form of a human you can be. That's what you're doing. So the swamp just isn't there. The swamp is in your local communities, man. I've seen stuff, and you can go and vet some of this stuff on the internet through people that talk about being targeted individuals, gang stalking. It's real, and it's being done through these programs I just mentioned. But they project them to make them look crazy because they're showing everything. See, they're following me. They're doing this and this and that because it was no way to combat it or fight because it was the government system against you. And it's the average cat that who this person or who's this. But they were sitting there getting a little check, a little place to stay. This is how our people have sold out, but that's the Antichrist mindset. And that's what the Father's coming to get rid of, y'all. So it's just not about DC. So that's how I know, and I'm ending it with this, something big is going to happen because that system has to be cleared out. So those of you that may thought I'm being followed or something strange or something ain't right, when your vibration raises, you got to understand the alarms go off. They go off, and the next thing you know, you're placed under these programs. It could be through certain activities you have. There's a lady named Kim Iverson that has that's a YouTuber, and she said at 11, she was placed on a terror watch list at 11 years old. she's, fairly young, but I think in 90, 91 or something, she said she was. So this is how serious these programs are, but they came through more after 911 was the justification to put more money into it. But really, it was there to have a system set up to combat, to have the anti-God spirit ready, to have the people ready to go against it when it came to take them out of power, man. Because they read, they experts read this word, they know what's coming. So they're always trying to pre-plan 5, 10, 20 steps ahead. But you can't, the Most High is that dude, man. So you can't mess with him, so just sit back and be encouraged, my people. We're going to be okay, man. We're going to be okay. So I wanted to bring you a word of encouragement with a little intel. And look at that stuff I tell you, the gang's talking. You'll be amazed, targeting individual stuff people go through. It's real. It's out here. I've seen it. I've helped people combat it. Probably was under some of that stuff myself, whatever. But it doesn't matter because when you in your zone, you can't touch you, man. Can't touch you. But it's an awful program, and that's something I'm gonna be speaking on. I said when I talk about the market of beast system, but it's locally, so I understand it ain't about DC. That has to be cleaned up too. That has to be cleaned up. So that's why I know something major has to happen to the systems for that money to go away. So just be ready, folks. Be ready, people. We're going to be okay, my great vibers, all right? So keep your head up with your grass cut. And the Most High is on his job. You better believe that, man. These cats ain't going to get away with this stuff, man. All right? Peace, 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 peace. First to last, your guy, Barry, a.k.a. Barry Israel. Y'all have a great week, man. Great time. Just focus on you. Stay in your power. Raise your vibration. Do what you need to do, man, just to be at peace. Don't feed into the madness out here and that illusion that they throwing with the television. All right? Peace.